What's up, guys? Dylan Rush for Cage Side Press, joined today by a flyweight fighter boasting a 6-1 professional record, set to compete in the main event of Uriah Faber's A1 Combat 24 in a flyweight championship bout. The main event versus Carlos Puente Jr., September 6th in Wheatland, California. Terrance Saeturn. How you doing, man?
What's going on, brother? I'm doing great, man. How you doing?
Doing good, doing good. I want to ask you first things first about that nickname. I like the nickname Wrong Turn. It also, of course, goes with your last name. How did you get that nickname? Who gave that to you?
My head coach, Sonny Ramos, gave me that nickname after my second amateur fight. We were at Hooters, eating chicken wings and drinking beer after my second amateur fight. It was when Max Holloway and T City fought, and we're sitting there chilling, and then Sonny looks up to me and he goes, "Wrong turn," and I was like, "What are you talking about?" And he was like, "That's you, man." And then he goes, when somebody takes a fight with you, they made the wrong turn, right? Like you ever typed in an address on your GPS and then you lose signal and then you end up making the wrong turn and you see like a group of people hanging out drinking 40s on the porch, and that one person looks at you and just gives you, that look as you're driving by, like, dude, you shouldn't be here. He's like, that's you. You're that dude right there. And I was like, okay. And then it kind of just stuck ever since then.
That's an awesome origin story for that nickname. That's funny.
Yeah.
Were you born and raised out there in California?
I was born and raised in Fairfield, California. Yep.
And what got you into mixed martial arts originally? What made you say, I want to start training?
I started wrestling when I was 9. My uncle Johnny wrestled for the high school out here, Army High School, and he one summer he like taught me how to throw a football and like how to run routes, and he was just like, "Dude, I think you should try out wrestling, and if you like it, then great. If you don't, then it's cool." And then I thought about it, and then I said yes. And then a little bit afterwards, after my first wrestling practice, maybe like a week or two after my first wrestling practice, I watched my very first UFC event, and I thought it was fucking hella cool. Like, hey, I want to try to do that one day. And then it was always in the back of my head as I grew up, but I was always like a small kid, like hella little, skinny, and people used to fucking talk shit to me about it. And like, I was afraid to tell people that when I was younger growing up, because, they're going to be like, whatever, dude, like, look at how little you are. You're never going to be able to do that. And my Uncle Johnny always like knew that I was going to do it. And when I turned 23, I was going through like some stuff mentally. I wasn't in a very good place. And I was like, dude, I'm going to fucking do something crazy. So instead of doing something crazy and getting in trouble for it, like, I might as well just start training. I don't want to be like 40, 50 years old, like, oh yeah, I used to wrestle in high school and blah blah blah, and that's all I did, and I could have done it. And I didn't want to be one of those people that you see at a bar, like, oh yeah, back when I was in high school, that was the peak of my athletic career, you know what I mean? So I just didn't want to live with any regrets, man. So I signed up to T4L April of 2018, and I took my first striking and jiu-jitsu class, and a few months later I started fighting, and I haven't stopped since.
So a few months after you walked into that gym, you launched your amateur career, you took your first fight.
Yeah, well, it didn't really just happen just like that. Like, I would say like a month and a half after I started training, I went and did like a point kickboxing event, and I did really well. I ended up winning a belt there. And then a couple of months after that, one of my former teammates, was getting ready for his amateur debut, and he ended up getting a concussion. And the coaches were like, pulled me to the side and were like, like, hey, you've been here for his whole entire fight camp, and the coaches think that you're ready. We all think you're ready, and we'll leave it up to you. If you want to take the fight, let us know. Either by the end of today, or you don't have to tell me now. You can tell me like at the end of the week. And then at the end of practice, I was just like, fuck it, man. Let's run it. Let's do it. And yeah, I fought, and I've been fighting since then.
And you won your first 6 amateur fights, not only the first one, but the
Yeah.
next 5 after that, right? So was there a moment Maybe even before that first amateur fight, maybe after, where you realize I want to do this, I want to take it more seriously, like I want to make a career out of this.
Yeah, definitely. I would say after I won, it was my fourth amateur fight. I fought for the Panda Cup MMA title in at the McClellan Conference Center in Roseville, I think. And I was fighting some dude that trained at Ultimate Fitness and Team Alpha Male. And I ended up finishing him in the first round. And um, after that fight, I was like, fuck, dude, I think I fucking belong here. You know, like I think that I can do something with this. And it took a little bit. So that was my fourth fight. And I was kind of like just talking with Coach Sonny like, man, I do want to do this as a career. And then he has this thing where he says, quit your job, train for life. And I was the only dumbass that fucking took it serious, and I fucking quit my job after my sixth pro fight. So two fights after that, I quit my job, and then literally the next week, COVID happened, and the whole world got shut down. So I'm like, fuck, dude, I literally just quit my job to pursue this, and the whole world is closed now. I just picked the worst time in history to follow my dreams. But luckily after, like it passed and everything started to slowly open up, and then I got a couple of more fights in, and then after I won the state title, because when I was in high school, I wanted to be a state champion wrestler, and that didn't happen. I didn't even fucking come close. I fucking,
Mhm.
um, I got smoked the tournament before state. So yeah, that happened, and that was always like the boogeyman in the back of my head. Like when I started fighting as an amateur, I heard that there was a state title, and I was like, holy shit, this is my second chance to be a state champion, and not a lot of people get second chances in their life. So I'm like, dude, this is my second chance to cross that off the bucket list. So once I became the state champion, then that's when I was like, all right, dude, let's fucking take it to the next level. Let's go pro and fucking start making some cash.
Oh yeah, man. You've won a lot more than you've lost. I think you're what, 6-1 as a pro. What were you as an amateur? 7-1, I believe, or
Eight, 8-1 as a amateur.
8-1
Yeah.
as an amateur.
I won my first six, and then I lost my seventh, and then I won
The next two.
8 and 9, or so 9-1. 9-1?
Mhm.
Yeah, 9-1. Yes.
So a lot of people say
Eight
win
and
or
one.
learn, right? So were there any takeaways, any learning experiences, things that you brought with you moving forward after you suffered that one amateur loss or that one loss in your professional career?
Definitely. So for the amateur loss, when I was an amateur, all the way up until I took that first loss, I wouldn't really warm up very good. I didn't really take warm up seriously. I would be in the back sleeping the whole entire time, and then like coaches would be like kicking me in the leg, like, "Dude, wake your ass up. We're gonna wrap your hands now." And I'm like, "Oh, okay." And that me doing that kind of built a habit of me starting slow, and that can be the difference of you winning or losing, right? I mean, obviously, it's not about how you start, it's how you finish, but still, it just starting off slow and then having to play catch up isn't a very good thing to do, right? So taking that first L, um, kind of opened my eyes, like, okay, like I need to really fucking warm up, and I need to really be on it and be ready to go when I am before I go out to go fight. So that way I'm on it already, right? And then the first loss as a pro, I kind of fell in love with just knocking people out and striking with people. And like I said earlier, I started wrestling. I have a wrestling background, and that fight, I wanted to just stand and bang with the dude, and I'm giving up stupid takedowns, and I didn't go for a single takedown, which is like a part of my game. It's a part of the game,
Mm.
and it really limited me, I guess you can say, to my whole entire arsenal. Because I'm not a striker. I'm an MMA fighter, and I need to be able to not only do everything proficiently, but also show that I can do everything proficiently. So yeah, those are the two takeaways. Get a better warm up, and then and it's an MMA fight, not a striking fight.
Definitely. So you're now 6-1 as a pro, 4 finishes. I feel like you're a very exciting fighter in the fights that I've watched myself. Do you pride yourself on that? Of course, you want to get the wins, and the wins are more important than anything. But do you pride yourself on being a bit of a fan favorite and putting on shows for the fans and attendance and viewers from around the world?
Honestly, man, I don't really trip off of that, dude. Like I just go out and I'm myself, and luckily me being myself and fighting like myself, people like that. So
Mhm.
it kind of just happened.
That's
It's
good.
cool. Don't get me wrong. Like I'm flattered. It's great. It's cool that everybody likes me and they like watching me fight. But I'm just going out there and I'm just being me, man. That's just what you get is what you got, bro.
Oh yeah. I heard that you trained with Brandon Moreno in the lead up to one of his fights. You were one of his training partners. Is that true?
Yes, it was when he fought Figgy,
One of
not
those
the time that they
times.
fought to a draw. The one that he won, the latest one that he won.
Yeah.
That was actually leading up to my third pro fight against Keanu Moyer. Um, Funny story. I used to have long ass hair, and Coach Safe was the head coach at Moreno's camp, and my hair kept coming out, and it was just like covering my face. And I remember Coach Safe like, "Hey, cut your fucking hair!" And I'm like, "Oh fuck! All right, all right, all right, I will, Coach. I'm sorry." And so when I got back, I'm like, "All right, guys, I think it's time, man. I gotta cut my fucking hair, dude. I can't see shit." So
The safe Saud got you to cut your hair, and you had some long
yeah,
hair. I
man.
saw it.
Yeah. But training with Brandon was fucking awesome, dude. Like just seeing how he manages his emotions during fight camp, and he's taking constructive criticism from coach, and how how humble he is as a person. And like he was really really nice to me. He invited me over to his house and we trained in his garage and stuff with Team Assassin Baby, and that was really cool. All those guys are dope. Masio, Marcelo, Chris, those all those guys were cool as shit. Edgar, they're all cool.
Hmm. I wanted to ask you about one more training partner, hubby, Houston Skiback, right?
Uh-huh.
Did I pronounce it right?
Houston Skibeck, yeah.
Houston Skiback. What can you tell me about him and how he's influenced you or helped you throughout your mixed martial arts career?
Yeah, man. Like I said earlier, I've known Houston since I was like 15. So we wrestled in high school together, and then when I started training, I found out that he was training there too. So I'm like, oh, great. And he's man, he's my main training partner, bro. I don't have anything bad to say about him. He gives me really good work. Um, he's a fucking problem, man. He's the problem. So yeah, he's gonna go off and do great things himself, man. And I'm happy that we're on the same path together, and we're very like minded as far as what we want to do with our life in this career. And I'm just grateful to have somebody like him. It's cool that we've known each other for so long. So like when one of us is in kind of like a shitty mood, usually it's me, but like when one of us is in a shitty mood, one of us, the other person would be like, "Yo, man, it's cool, bro. I think you did great. I mean, I think you're doing fine."
What can you tell me about Nobody MMA and T4L Train for Life Center? What can you tell me about these two gyms? You feel like you found a home at these two places?
Oh, well, Train for Life is the gym. The fight team is Nobody MMA.
Oh, so
So
it's the
we
same thing.
train. Yeah, it's the same gym, but the fight team is Nobody
Okay.
MMA. But I would like to say that Nobody MMA is the most complete fight team, if not in regional, but honestly, in my opinion, in the world, man. Like everybody on the team they're not just one trick ponies. They're not just strikers. They're not just grapplers. They're MMA fighters, and we do a lot of stuff in transition. Like we focus a lot of little details and a lot of the stuff in transition. So, and that helps us out tremendously in all of our fights. I mean, if you've ever seen Blake, or I mean, if you see Houston, Caesar, Amini, you see any of us fight, man, it's not just like we're just trying to strike with you. We're just trying to grapple you. It's everything, man. And everybody on the team, we all hold each other accountable, and we're really, really, really honest with each other. And Coach Sonny is even more a step above that, is like brutally honest with you. You know, like if you're fucking up, you're gonna know, or if someone is fucking up, you're gonna fucking know. If somebody's in trouble, everybody's in trouble.
Yep.
Somebody fucks up, everybody fucked up, and we're all getting punished for it. So we all hold each other accountable, and we're there to pick each other up when one of us is feeling down, and the brotherhood is real, man. Like me and Amini and Huey have been teammates. We're teammates in high school, and we're teammates now. So, and you got Kanoa and Blake and Caesar. Caesar's like our big brother, and he's been fighting for like 13 years. So he's making sure that, like, hey, you little motherfuckers better make sure you're on your shit. Make sure you're on your recovery. Make sure you're fucking doing this. Make sure you're lifting. Make sure you're doing extra shit outside of here. Make sure you're posting good shit. So I love the team, man. I wouldn't want to be on any other team with anybody else, getting coached by anybody else, man.
That's awesome, man. It sounds like a brotherhood, like you said, and that's what you need in this sport. Even though it's an individual sport, having the right people around you is, of course, very, very, very important. I love Blake Perry. I'm a big Blake Perry guy. I think he's awesome. I interviewed him. He's a real good guy. He's a wicked nose, but I
Yeah,
don't,
yeah, yeah.
but I don't hold it against. Uh, so you're on a 3-fight win streak now, Terrance. First round finish your last time out. Do you feel yourself improving steadily with each fight camp, with each fight that passes?
I believe so. Yes, I believe every single fight I've been able to show a little bit of different wrinkles in my game, and I'm only getting better, man. I'm 29 years old. Kind of getting I'm almost to the prime of my athletic, career, the prime of my life, and the sky's the fucking limit, man. I feel I truly, truly believe that I am one of the best, if not the best, flyweights in the world.
Mhm. September 6th, it's at the Hard Rock Championship main event. Carlos Puente Jr. What do you know about this guy, Carlos Puente? What makes him a favorable stylistic matchup for yourself?
Carlos Puente is 8-1. He's 35 years old. He's from Orange County. His last two fights were title fights. His last fight was a draw. The one before that, he lost a decision. He's won pretty much every way that you can win. He's also lost every way that you can lose. He's a veteran, man, and he's tough as fuck. He's tall. Um, and yeah, like I said, he's tough, man. Mexican people are tough as fuck, and Mexican people love to fucking fight,
Oh
and I'm
yeah.
here for it. Um, um, I know that he is a pretty complete martial artist himself. Um, and I'm not looking past him, man. I'm taking him very, very seriously. And come September 6th, I'm ready to fucking go.
That's dope. I could tell you're taking him seriously because sometimes I ask that question, like, what do you know about your opponent? And some people are like, I don't care, or I don't know much, or this. And you just gave me like a whole rundown on this guy's life and career and background. So hell yeah, you're doing
Yeah.
your research as you should. What would a victory on September 6th do for you and your career moving forward?
I am hoping to make it to the big show, whether it's one fighting championship or the UFC. It seems like they're really, really pushing me to the UFC, which I'm not really too upset about because they're one of the biggest promotions, if not the biggest promotion in the world right now.
Mhm.
And I don't see why a win here, especially a dominant win, a finish here, wouldn't give me an opportunity, or wouldn't present me an opportunity to be on a Dana White's Contender Series, or a call to sign with one of them. And but first things first, I got to get through Puente, and then we'll see, man.
Of course, yep. I know this fight is your full focus, and you don't want to look ahead, but I'll look ahead. I'm not the one fighting. I think 7-1 with a definitive, a statement victory. Your next time out, 7-1. You should get the Dana White's Contender Series call. Maybe a fight on short notice if someone falls out, someone withdraws from a fight on fight week or something, or even just a call up to the big stage, just a full camp and something like that. I think 7-1 with a dominant win here, you're definitely going to be in line for something like that, or one championship. Of course, PFL doesn't have the flyweight division, so one championship in UFC, the main focus. And UFC has such an exciting flyweight division. Of course, one championship does too, but I think the UFC flyweight division is at a place that it's like better than ever. Sometimes doesn't get the respect it deserves, but like some of these fights coming up, Urseg versus Kai Kara France, Brandon Royval versus Tatsuo Taro. I would love to see you. Of course, you have a little ways to go before the top, 5 and 10 fights, but I think it would be pretty cool to see you match up against some of those guys. So I'm looking forward to it. What can you tell me about Fight Like Our Kids? It's a local childhood cancer organization based in Sacramento, and I know they have an event coming up, Kids Best, on September 1st. What can you tell me about that organization?
Yeah, Chris Sullivan with Fight Like Our Kids. Chris has been supporting me for shit a few years now, a couple years now. Blake is actually the one that linked me and Chris up. One day after practice, Blake was like, "Yo, can you just record me real quick? I'm gonna just do this video for like some childhood cancer uh company." And he was like, "Bro," and after he did it, after I recorded it, he was like, "Bro, you want to do it too? Like, I'm pretty sure like they're gonna love it, and it'll be a good chance for you to expand your network and everything." And I'm like, "Okay," so I did it, and then Chris tapped in with me, and they've been fucking with me ever since, man. I first met him at Blake's third fight or second fight, when he broke his nose. Chris and them had a booth there at the event, and I went down and linked up with him and his wife and chopped it up with them for a little bit. I think I signed a pair of gloves, and they've been following me and supporting me ever since, man. And I'm really grateful for it. I really appreciate it. Thank you, Chris. And the least that I can do is show some support and love back to these guys, that believe in me, and everything that they're doing is for a good cause too. So why not, right?
That's awesome, man. And like you just said, great cause. So I definitely commend you for that. I got a speed round for you. You ready for this speed round?
I think so. Fuck it, let's do it. Let's
All
do
right,
it. Let's
let's
do it.
go. Question one: would you rather give up beer for the rest of your life or video games for the rest of your life?
Video games.
Favorite fighter growing up?
Um, Matt Hughes,
Matt Hughes, that's a good
BJ
one.
Penn, BJ Penn, BJ Penn,
Okay, VJ Penn, we're switching it. What about a fighter you look to emulate in your own game?
Demetrius Johnson.
Hell yeah. Favorite submission to practice with Team Nobody?
Arm triangle or rear naked choke.
Okay. Dream opponent, if you have one, someone in maybe one championship or UFC?
Demetrius Johnson.
Yep. Someone in both one championship and UFC, Demetrius Johnson. And then dream city, dream venue, dream arena. Where's one place you really want to fight before your career's all said and done?
Abu Dhabi, or Vegas at the Sphere. That'd be
Hell
dope.
yeah. Hell yeah. I like both of those. Speaking of all said and done, I finish every interview with this question. I got one more after, but I wanted to ask, when it's all said and done, fighting, training, whatever it may be, what do you want people to remember most about Terrance Wrong Turn, Say Turn above all else?
The person that I was outside of fighting, because fighting is it's not who I am. It's not all of me, right? I want people to remember me as a humble guy that is fun to be around, is funny as fuck, cool to drink beer with, and just a regular guy that just works hard and believed in himself and followed his dreams,
Oh yeah.
manifested his dreams.
That is a great answer, man. I appreciate it. And then one last thing, it's not much of a question, but a message for the fans. What can fans expect to see when they tune in to A1 Combat 24 on September 6th in the main event, of course, flyweight championship on the line? What can fans expect to see?
Classic wrong turn, say turn, fight. All right. Fireworks, electricity, violence, beautiful violence.
Beautiful violence. I like it. Carlos Puente Jr., Terrance Wrong Turn, Say Turn, flyweight championship on the line, main event. Uriah Faber's A1 Combat 24 on September 6th in Wheatland, California, man. I appreciate you taking the time. I'm looking forward to that fight, man. Let's go.
Let's go.
All right, man. I'll see you, bro. Be good.
All
Thank
right. Thanks, Dylan. Appreciate it, brother.
Yes, sir.